Good morning, everybody. Today, we're going to go over my Gray Falcon pack because the seasons are getting right into change. We're coming up on the fall, so it's time to do like a seasonal kind of upgrade, if you will, or just a change out. But we'll get into that, and I'll reset the camera. I'll try to get everything in the shot so you guys can see what I got going on here. So stick around, and we're going to change out my loadout. All right, guys, this is my Max Edition Gray Falcon, and this is my primary bag. It's kind of my jack of all trades. It's my go bag. I brought in a bag of extra stuff here. Now, this is in preparation of the colder weather that will be soon coming. So we're going to not only check and double check to make sure, I'm comfortable with what I got for the season. Plus, I do got some extra additions I'm going to add. So we'll try to get right into that here. About too many camera resets if I can keep from it. Okay, let's get down to this. Now, this has a lot of compartments, and that's the main thing I really like about this, because you can kind of compartmentalize your gear. On the outside right now, we're running hatchet, and I got my parang on the other side. Both these tools I've done a build test video on, so if you're interested in those, feel free to check them out. All right, now on the top, actually, I tell you what, we're going to pop that hatchet off just while we're getting this set up, so that way it's not in the way. And we'll go ahead and take the parang off as well. So we'll have to be in these buckles and straps a lot. So yeah, if you're interested in these two tools, there's dedicated field test videos for them both. So let's get this out of the way. Go ahead and take our buckles loose. All right, now this top small pouch, now that one there is usually for stuff that I want to kind of just be able to have easy access to and grab. Adjust you there a little bit. So we'll just do a quick overview of what's already in it. Now, if you're interested in this, check out my video for the solo adventure of 9 items only. And I use a lot of components in this to make a Bushcraft made rod and reel for fishing. All right. Bottle of hand sanitizer. This is basically a hand warmer, but you can also use it as a power bank. Got this a long time ago. Still works though. Got some extra Bic. And yeah, most of the stuff in here is going to be stuff that I'm going to need, like, most likely immediately. So we got fire prep and the like. So we just got 2 packs of these. But it looks like I had quite a decent little setup already for fire prep, but we're going to add some more in there. Nice big ferrocerium rod, some paracord. I got an assortment of wing nuts, and of course some paracord. All right, now that top one's pretty good, but we're going to add a little bit to it. We're going to add an extra pack of just hand warmers. These two here are adhesive toe warmers. I kind of like these a little bit more than just regular hand warmers because of the adhesiveness. And they're actually a little bit slimmer and a smaller profile, so they're good for sticking in gloves as well as your boots. So we're going to add an extra set of hand warmers. We're going to add another smaller container of hand sanitizer, and primarily that will allow me to keep one for actual sanitation purposes, and I can keep the smaller one dedicated to fire prep. All right, we are going to add stormproof matches. And I also have a pack of just regular diamond matches. And one that I'm really recommend for a lot of people, you can still find them, reusable hand warmers. Now these don't last that long. You'll get 2-3 hours use out of these. Right now they're need reset, but it's kind of in a hardened state. You literally get some really hot water, drop these things in there, and there's a little metal tab in the middle of this thing. And once this stuff resets, it's more like a gel, and you kind of pinch both sides of that little tab that's in there and click, and it causes a chemical reaction, and this thing heats up. There's 2 of them in the little box. Like I said, no, they only last like 2 or 3 hours, but they're reusable, so it's kind of handy to have them, because I always got, you know, typically a vessel to boil water in. So if I do happen to run out of other things, and for whatever reason I either can't or I fail to get fire, I got these, which I can use in conjunction with my little isobutane stove. So now then, let's see if we can get this all packed back in here, because I've added quite a bit to it. So we'll go again, we'll just shove that back in there, spread our hand warmers out, get our lighter, little matches in there, so that hand warmer, ferrocerium rod near the top, hand sanitizer, the other bottle. Now I need to be, actually I can put that in a different compartment. Random bunch of wing nuts. Now I may have trouble getting this in here, because this is actually quite large, so that may actually be a tight fit. I think we may got her. Yep, we got her. She is stuffed up. All right, now for these other 2 items. Now this I don't necessarily have to get to immediately, so this I can literally stick anywhere, and so this will be primarily for actually sanitizing my hands. Now in this component or compartment, I figured while I was doing this was go ahead and break down, because I never did do a show and tell on this pack and what I got in it. And they're Hank of very bright orange. I know that don't look quite right in the camera, but it's closer to like the color you have on a hunting vest, but it's not looking that color in the camera. But this is a quite bright, nearly neon orange paracord with a hair tie in the center. Flagging tape. Sanitizing wipes. Scope mouthwash. Roll Gorilla Tape. Backup pocket knife. That Ontario Rat 1. That's one of the older original ones. It's in the AUS 8 steel. And here is your standard little isobutane stove. And this one has the hard plastic carrying case. Well, hard-ish plastic carrying case. It's not that hard. Right in the rain. I'm just going to pop that right back in there. Replacement butane, because usually in this shirt pocket I always carry a little pocket torch. So that's refills. Stick him back in there. We'll stick that back in there real quick. Loctite super glue. I think that may be it for that pouch. Now, this pouch has more room, and there's several pockets in this one. I might add some pens, mechanical pencils, or, you know, maybe a Sharpie or something of that variety in this as well later on. However, for now, we are going to add our other stuff that I wanted to add to it. So we'll put that bigger bottle of hand sanitizer right in there. Throw the mouthwash back in. Let's make sure I get those wipes back in there, actually. The antiseptic wipes are kind of handy to have. And like I said, worst case scenario, I can actually use those wipes for toilet paper. So there's that. So, oh goodness, we're already running in over 10 minutes just for this segment. So let me pause this, get this in, and we'll get to the next pouch. All right, now this pouch is one of the features I actually really liked about this pack. It has a very nice, large padded waist strap that is detachable. And this bottom pouch here, get these off, is a self-detachable, and this is made to run that large waistband through. So basically, this turns into a large kind of fanny pack kind of deal. So that, I thought that was quite awesome. So I have a modular option already built into this pack. Now this pack is mostly, I do believe, fishing and the likes. So yeah, we got gulp, multitude of hooks, different varieties of sinkers, and these are probably homemade fish hooks. Yeah, there's a few normal fish hooks in there, but I'll pull some of these out for y'all to look at. I make quite a variety of different shapes and sizes of these. So I'll just grab a small selection here. These are hooks I made myself, literally out of strands of barbed wire. And they do work. Now, remind you, they're barbless. So when you catch a fish, you got to keep on your pressure while getting that fish in, or it's real easy for them to slip. Now, a couple of them, I've tried to make some little extra bends in, maybe to make it a little harder for it to slip out. Now, typically, like I said, these are not really strong enough to catch big fish, but your typical panfish will actually, this will suffice quite well. So, all right, and I got so many of these things all over the place because at the time they were $1 at Walmart. So 100 yards of fishing line. This is a 12-pound test, and we got another very large assortment of different hook sizes. Now there's plenty of room in there, and I'm going to add some actual proper traps to this. I'm going to have my like a conibear, the small 110. If I can get squeezed into one of these, I'm going to try to add one of those to it. But just for general, one that hasn't been opened yet, this is a Victor rat trap with some paracord. Drill a hole back here so you can either stake this thing out in case you accidentally catch something you didn't want to, like a coon or a possum. They won't run off with the trap. But squirrels, chipmunks, if you got to, rats, you know, this will catch and kill food for you. So, but this one hasn't been messed with much, but that's fine. So all I have to do is take the awl on my multi-tool, drill a hole through that, tie it off paracord, get the length I want, tie it off something. And we have some artificial baits here. Whoop, I'm dropping all over the place. Just a small selection, that way in case I do have trouble actually finding live bait, natural bait, I at least got something to put on a hook. Here's some still leaders. We got a small amount of larger hooks for catfish and like. Old crappy stringer. And I just got a small amount of bobbers. I haven't added the extra tackle that I plan on to add to it later yet. So, but we got some bobbers, and I got 3 or 4, maybe 5 of these larger heavy duty weights in case I need it. But yeah, basically this little kit at the moment is, you know, along the line of just food procurement. Now we'll get this guy back on there, hopefully without a whole bunch of trouble. But yeah, I like the way that is set up. That really works good. Now there's slack at the bottom of this because normally this is where I put my tarp roll. I did a Bushcraft video and I had that. It's a 10x10, pretty nice tarp. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out too. I might have to reset because of the sun, guys, as he's starting to blot out the camera on us here. Okay, now let's get to the main big compartment. And by the way, these have these zippers that come on the Expedition. I'm telling you guys, these are the most fantastic zippers I've ever had to deal with. I'm very happy with them. Now, this has a very large main component pouch here. There's a zippered mesh compartment here. I currently don't have anything in it. But real quick, pair of gloves, fuel tank for the isobutane, pretty fortified sewing kit. This has buttons, scissors, a seam ripper, thread. It's got pretty much everything, even a tape measure. Pretty nice little kit. Now this is just a dollar store purchase, so I was hoping it had the price on it, but I'm thinking it was like $5 at the time of purchase, so I'd expect that's roughly what you're going to pay on average. All right, and a very large roll of nylon line. I can use this for a multitude of things, and yes, I do have bank line. I got several rolls of it. I will be adding one to this kit. However, for the most part, and I'll argue with anybody who says that this stuff is useless, this old hillbilly farm boy has used this stuff for most of his life, and I can tell you right now, I can do stuff with this that most people think you can't. However, like I said in I definitely think I even did a video, budget gear video on this stuff. Yes, tarred bank line is far superior. I'm not going to argue that. So, and we got an extra large spool of sewing thread. Now I found this, and this is nothing like real fancy, $4, and I'm going to think that I may have bought this at a Dollar General, maybe a Family Dollar, but it had one of these organizers. There's not a whole lot of line on this. See, it's 3/16 inch diameter rope, but there's actually 40 feet on there. Now this is not super strong, but it's far strong enough for shelters and stuff, and it's a little bit thicker, so that this was kind of like ridge lines, that sort of thing. Plus a nice little keeper it came with. Then we got large cloth. This is 100% cotton. which actually I think we will put in our zippered pouch back here, since we've not had anything to really put in that. All right, that is simply freeze-dried coffee. I just put in a bare low-dose aspirin container. Everybody may have noticed this if you've seen it in one of my review videos. Now, like I said, I was impressed enough with this. I literally put this in my pack. This is my backup fixed blade. Quite functional, lightweight, very comfortable. It's a great bushcraft blade. Even comes with fire steel. So if you're interested in that, there's a video on that. Also did a video on this little guy. It's a folding trowel. I got this at Walmart too, but from what I heard, that these are kind of hard to find now, which seems to be the case anymore. Any place that had a lot of stuff of camping, bushcraft, and all that stuff, and a lot of stores are getting harder and harder to come by. But I got two of these. I got one for the wife and one for me. For its size, it's pretty stout, good stainless steel, and sometimes it's just nice to have a dedicated digging tool. And this thing folds up real nice. You can slide that right in the pocket. So, yeah, I like it. PP, need I say more? And this is just a cheap bottle that had a family member was going to throw away. So I got it, cleaned it up. It was like spare steel water bottle. So I was like, okay, I'll just throw that in that pouch, because I usually always have my canteen. So this is just an extra means to carry more fluids if needs be. All right, now here's our cook set. And these two I have a video on. That is simply a stainless steel Ozark Trail cup and the original Stanley cook set. So, let's see what we got. I know we got stuff in there. I believe this is from Coghlan. Yeah, Coghlan stainless steel, made in Taiwan. Just spoon knife and fork. A little bit smaller than most, shorter, so they fit real conveniently down inside there. If I need a longer implement, I can make it out of wood. All right, I think I've only got one cup here. Now, that comes with two of these double-walled plastic cups, but I took one out to make room for a small spice kit. And these little vials, I believe there's a craft store that's somewhat, wouldn't say really near me, but had a wife pick me up several of these little things. So, you know, we got salt, pepper, back here, Old Bay, and I think like a Cajun allspice kind of deal. But, you know, it's small things really make a big difference. So having something to put some extra flavor in your food, you know, if nothing else, it's kind of a psychological thing. Really helps you feel more at ease, a little more comfortable. Now, all right, quit fighting. There we go. But this is small and basic, but I find for just an individual, this is all I need. So I can, most foods, if I'm going to make out there, if it's just going to be a plain meat without turning it into a soup or a stew, I'm literally just going to roast it over a fire if necessary. But if I can get something to make it more like a soup or a stew, I'll do that, because the liquids is more beneficial. It'll stretch out the you know, how much food you get for one, plus you get a little extra nutrition value out of it that way. And of course, I wrapped this in a simple bag from the store. That was to help reduce it clattering around. Plus, if I need it later to pick up after myself, I've got, you know, a bag to do that with as well. Now, there is a small amount of food items in here. which are getting close to being rotated out. I mean, they'll last for quite a while, but you know, these are something real quick and easy. Your standard ramen noodle soups. And then another bag here, I've got a couple of packs maple brown sugar oatmeal, and just a little pack of Starburst in case I need a little bit of something for a little bit of extra sugar. This little plate here is actually a cover for your stovetop burners. Oh, there's a video on that. Well, actually, there's two here, but they double up, makes it a good bit stiffer, less likely to hot item could burn you. Like I said, this is all pretty basic and simple, but based on my location, places that I would probably have to go, and the routes that I already know to take in general, this will actually provide me with most of all my needs covered. And you may not be able to see it, but there's a zippered compartment here for a water bladder, by the way. Which I got. I just don't carry it because I'm not crazy about water bladders. 3 large heavy-duty zip ties. I think I may add a pack of just your average standard size too in there. All right, but now since we were talking about winter coming on, and in colder weather, you tend to burn a lot more calories. So I'm going to be more apt to add some more food items in this kit, because there's no guarantee you'll be able to acquire food along your route. So, like, don't ever, regardless of how normally, you know, you're fishing and you're hunting and everything, you know, in this area, the fishing, hunting, all the trapping's good. Lo and behold, the moment there's a real emergency, that will be the season when it's not very good. So having some extra precautions is a really good idea. All right, we're going to add a schmog. So this is a pretty large one, but you know, that's kind of the idea of a schmog. Now this I got real cheap, I think at a Dickies a long time ago, but we're going to add that in there. That'll make a pretty good scarp if nothing else. Now also we're going to add to it something for the head, little bomber cap. These things are really nice. I like toboggans, but I found that these for me work way better than a toboggan. So we are going to add that in there. You lose an immense amount of heat from your extremities, your head, your hands, your feet. But your head is one that really is bad about that. All right, now since we were talking about our calories, we're going to add us one of these nutrition bricks. This is not fancy. This is a Walmart deal. Apple cinnamon flavored, and got a good shelf life. And this entire brick is 2,400 calories. So that's guaranteed food, and it's not in a gigantic package. Now they do make some now from other companies that are far more smaller, more bang for your buck. But at the time of buying this, it was like $5. So yeah, cheap, easy. We'll throw that in there. Okay, now we got that in there. Let's go ahead and I'll try to get this stuff put right back in where it was at. As close as I can to right where it was at. Now this stuff, some of it is a little bit on the bulkier side, so it does make it somewhat more awkward than you initially expect. But now there's always the option to ditch. There's items in this kit that I find that I'm not needing along my journey, then I can put it aside, maybe find a little place to kind of hide it. That way, if I can come back to it later, that's, it is what it is at that point. But it's about trying to get the best of what you can, what you got. Like the toilet paper, if you don't have this, but you got a big pack of like wipes, like wet wipes, baby wipes, you can actually probably forgo the toilet paper. Tell you what, we'll actually put this in here with this. And that might help us keep that a little more organized. So that gives us plenty of material as far as cotton goes. So I can sacrifice pieces of the white cotton thing if I need to make charcloth for some reason, or bandages. I can sacrifice that and keep the shemagh for other duties. And since we got just virtually no room this will take up, we'll just go ahead and throw this in here. Nothing else. That'll be a extra little trash bag for us in case we need it. Maybe I'll find something that's a food item that's a little messy. I don't, want to necessarily get my stuff nasty in my pack, so I can just simply throw it in that bag, wrap it up, throw it back in the pack, and continue on with my journey. All right, guys, let me get this thing buttoned back up, and I'll get right with you. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. Now, there is something that you'll probably notice immediately that wasn't featured, but that's because I'm currently not sure which one I want to put in the pack. So I'm in debate. I got a couple folding saws, but I'm not sure which one I want to dedicate just for this pack, because the idea is I don't want to get in a situation where I'm borrowing stuff from this pack. I want everything with, obviously if I got some food that needs rotated out, but as far as the gear and everything in it, I don't want to, oh, I need that, so I'm going to pop it out of my kit. You get into that and make a bad habit of it, you end up forgetting to put something back. So, but I think I may, right now I'm thinking about dedicating a silky big boy saw to it. So that will be the saw for this kit most likely, but I'm still not 100% sure. So, but outside that, I'm sure some people will be like, hey man, you don't got a saw. But I got saws. I just here probably by the weekend I'll decide which one I'm going to permanently dedicate to this kit, and once it's in there, that's where she'll stay. So and just a quick word, it never hurts to go through your pack and make sure it's been tuned up for the season. That way, you're not stuck in a late fall, early, winter, or just winter in general situation with a loadout that's dedicated for more like summertime. Because you'll find that in winter, you'll need more fire prep. You'll also want some warmer clothes, spare clothes to put in the kit. And that was, and by the time I had it packed up, I didn't want to unpack it, but I was incorrect about that zipped up spot that had the room for the bladder. I actually had a pair of pants, shirt, and extra pair of socks folded up and put in there. So, go figure. But I didn't feel like ripping everything back out, but there is spare clothes in this kit. But also make sure your fire kit is pretty heavy, and make sure you got extra lighting. Now, typically, most of my extra lighting is in my Fat Max pack. I got nice headlamp and a mag light in it. Of course, I always carry a flashlight on my EDC plus extra batteries. That's just EDC, but now that I thought about it, it probably behooved me to throw, I got several headlamps, and I'm going to throw one in here and probably take a empty pill bottle, throw about, like get what's already in the headlamp plus 2 other change outs and batteries. So we'll go with that. I got a couple of simple ones from Hyper Tough, which I actually like. I got one from Coast. It has even the red light and all that on it, so you know, who knows what all stuff in there. But we'll get some extra lighting and batteries added to that kit as well to help beef that up, because once we start getting in closer to the winter solstice, late fall and everything, your daylight hours are going to decrease quite a bit. So by the time you get in around midwinter, 4:30, getting on 5 p.m., it's almost getting in almost pitch black out here. And plus we got all these deep hollers and canyons and everything that, well, not really canyons, they're just really high, massive high hills and the like it out here where I'm at, big gullies. So often down on the bottoms where all the flat parts are, you're going to get even less light because of how high the hills and stuff surrounding you are. So most of the sunlight will be blocked by the hills. So unless you're at a higher elevation, you're going to lose daylight even faster. So having some extra lighting sources is definitely going to be a must. And if one so desires, normally I got a few things that will be peripherals to this. Everybody's seen my fanny pack. I did a video. It's the black fanny pack area, and that's something I usually always have access to, if not on my person when I do go out. But it's got solar rechargeable power bank with a light built into it, and it's got some other essentials in it. So it's usually going to be a combination of that, plus I'm going to have this. But for the most part, I do want to allocate a few more resources to make this thing kind of a standalone. That way, if I don't have that fanny pack on me or access to it for whatever random reasons, how life goes, make this the grab. It's it's the one and done kind of deal. Maybe I will also, as soon as true fall gets here, we're slide that back into place. True fall gets here, might swap this out. I'll probably put a little more heavier duty hatchet on here. Probably most likely a S-Wing Camp Axe hatchet, leather stack handle one. It's got a nice big end on it and the back end hammer pole for hammering. Plus, it's got more weight and it'll have a little better cutting power and be able to split better. Now, this is pretty nice. I can make that work year round, but I kind of think I might keep this more for everything up until about mid-late fall. Then I'll swap that out with a more heavier duty hatchet. But I ain't got no complaints about this thing. It's pretty nice. But everything's a work in progress. I never want to get stagnant with my choices. That's why that came loose. That thing popped out on me. Because you don't want to get in the habit of just not checking your gears. Like I said, it's always good to run through this. Like I got a couple things of hand sanitizer. Run through there, make sure this bottles hasn't popped open, and I've leaked all the hand sanitizing fluid out, and everything around it's going to be all gunked up because that stuff kind of gelifies and hardens up after it evaporates. It's in a big old nasty, yeah. So you want to check your kits regularly, make sure nothing's damaged, make sure you got what you need for the season. And if you are one of the people who has a really big pack, you may be able to 4-season your pack. That's your choice, and it may be a necessity based on your location and your scenarios. But out here, where I have access to a very large amount of natural resources, I can afford to go a little more heavier on my tools and make a lot of stuff that I need. And fires out here is usually never a really big deal. Even if we've had a week or two straight of rain, if I can find pine trees, I guarantee you I'll get a fire started. However, we'll go ahead and wrap the video up here. Like I said, I hope this was informative. If not, hopefully it was just entertaining. All you out there watching, if you got some kits, feel free to mention your kits, what you got in it, why you got in it. It's like I said, it's a good mental exercise to kind of get you ready, run your scenarios, check your routes if you're doing a bug out, or you're getting ready for a get home situation. Make sure you plan your routes. Make sure you have the gear you need to get those routes taken care of. And it's hard to tell what can and will happen, so never think that nothing can happen to you. And with that, I'll see you all in another video. Thank you very kindly for watching.